This is Anna, and for my threat intelligence report, I chose to analyze the 2025 evolution of the AKIRA Ransomware group. And this isn't just the same old ransomware. What makes this shift critical post-January 2025 is that they're now bypassing traditional defenses to target the hybrid cloud stack directly. This analysis focuses on two major developments. First is their developed capability to encrypt across multiple hypervisors, and second is their weaponization of the zero-day exploits at the network edge to bypass traditional parameter defenses. Starting with the actor profile and a little bit about the threat background, AKIRA is a sophisticated operation. Intelligence firmly links them to Storm 1567 and the defunct Conti Syndicate. They target high-value sectors like healthcare and manufacturing, generating over $244 million in proceeds this year alone. Most concerning is their dwell time, however, wherein current data reveals them executing the entire kill chain in just over 2 hours. This compresses the standard response window to almost zero and shows that they have very rapid execution. Bringing us to the life cycle of the attack, it begins with the ingress or the initial access, wherein rather than relying on phishing, they utilize the CVE 2024-40766, which is a critical vulnerability in sonic wall devices, and they use this to gain entry. Once inside, they move up to the credential access, dumping the SAM database and the ntds.dit. They then utilize Mimikatz and NetExec to scrape memory from clear text credentials. For lateral movement, they basically live off the land by installing legitimate tools like AnyDesk for persistence and tunneling traffic out via ngrok. Finally, for the impact, which is immediate, they deploy AKIRA v2, which specifically targets and encrypts virtual disk files on Nutanix, VMware, and Hyper-V. The sonic wall vulnerability is the linchpin of this strategy. With a CVSS score of 9.8, as we can see, it allows unauthorized access to management interfaces. They don't need a password, the door is just simply unlocked, but it gets worse, so once they're inside, they pivot to the servers using the ESXi authentication bypasses. This allows them to join a hypervisor to a malicious Active Directory domain, instantly granting them full administrative rights over the virtualization clusters. They're effectively walking through the firewall and the server room door without even triggering a login alert. This leads us to the impacts, which are severe, and the detection, wherein I'll be analyzing the fallout and defensive posture. Through this double extortion model, we're looking at a highly aggressive model wherein they first steal sensitive data for blackmail, data theft and blackmail, which is the exfiltration part, and then they move on to not only just encrypting the files but also bricking the servers, essentially meaning that by attacking the hypervisor directly, they're taking down the entire operational infrastructure in just one punch. But the real question is, how do they get deep enough to destroy these hypervisors without tripping this alarm? That brings us to defense evasion, where they make use of BYOVD, which is bring your own vulnerable driver attacks, essentially wherein they install a buggy driver like a PoorTry to blind the EDR at the kernel level, and they're also using standard Windows tools like PowerShell simultaneously to quietly turn off the defender. To a SOC analyst, this doesn't look like malware, it just looks like an admin doing maintenance. So the real detection lies in the logs, wherein we would have to look for specific anomalies like checking VPN logs for that sonic wall exploit signature. Second, the Windows event logs, wherein we've been given the event ID of 4688. We would trigger alerts to see anydesk.exe files running from a temp folder or Mimikatz potentially accessing memory. Third, we could check the hypervisor logs, wherein we would look for manual commands like vmkfs tools, modifying disk files. That would be an immediate indicator of compromise. To scale this up, we can automate detection using signatures. We can deploy Yara rules to scan memory for strings unique to their Megazord payload. We could also use Sigma rules to flag the specific command lines they use to build ngrok tunnels. And on the network, we could tune the ITIS to drop traffic on non-standard ports that matches their command and control profile. So ultimately, stopping AKIRA comes down to 4 strategic strategies and actions. One is to patch the sonic walls. That's the primary open door. 2 is phishing-resistant multi-factor authentication. We all know standard codes aren't enough anymore. We would need a security key like FIDO2. 3, we would tune the EDR to specifically block vulnerable driver loading. And 4 would be segmentation, where we know that the hypervisor management console never interacts with the open internet. These insights were drawn from my key references as stated here, and also from the November 2025 Joint Advisory. And thank you.